The envelope arrived on a Tuesday, a day I had earmarked for lighter duties, just 2 property showings and some routine paperwork. As I ascended the stairs to my modest apartment, I absent-mindedly sifted through the mail, the usual assortment of credit card solicitations, a brightly colored grocery flyer touting deals on produce, and a reminder from my dentist about an upcoming cleaning. Amid the mundane, one envelope stood out with its heavy cream stock and the embossed return address of Whitmore and Associates, a firm specializing in estate planning. My pulse quickened. This had to be it, the culmination of years of waiting for Grandma's trust fund, which my parents had managed since I turned 18, promising full access at 28. Now, 3 weeks past that milestone, financial independence seemed within grasp. Fingers trembling slightly, I juggled my keys and purse, nearly dropping everything in my haste to get inside. Once the door clicked shut behind me, I tore open the envelope with uncharacteristic impatience. A check fluttered out, and I snatched it midair, flipping it over to reveal the amount, $14,650.28. I blinked, reread the figures, but they remained stubbornly the same. This couldn't be right. Grandma had established the trust at my birth, funding it with a substantial life insurance payout and savvy investments that, according to overheard parental conversations, had grown into something life-altering, enough to launch me post-college without the burden of debt. My hands shook as I unfolded the accompanying letter. Dear Ms. Tate, per the terms of the Sarah Elizabeth Tate Memorial Trust, we are pleased to inform you that you have reached the age of majority distribution. Enclosed is the final disbursement of the remaining principal. The word remaining hit like a gut punch. Attached was a dense financial statement, pages filled with line items that made my head spin. But certain entries leaped out: administrative management fees averaging $8,450 annually, expense reimbursements around $12,300 per year, and trustee compensation at $15,000 yearly, spanning a decade. Unauthorized charges dotted the ledger: travel expenses, educational consultations, administrative overhead, none of which I'd approved or even known about. Doing quick mental arithmetic honed from my real estate career, I estimated the drain, between $100,000 and $130,000 siphoned away. Legally, as trustees, my parents could charge reasonable fees for their duties, but this smacked of excess, potentially breaching fiduciary responsibilities under U.S. law, where trustees must act in the beneficiary's best interest or face removal, restitution, or even criminal embezzlement charges if intent to defraud is proven. I'd been too intimidated to probe deeper, fearing their threats. Now, the betrayal crystallized. My phone buzzed, a text from Mom: "Sweetie, did you get your little check? Don't spend it all in one place." The diminutive a little ignited fury, I nearly hurled the device across the room. Instead, I collapsed onto the couch, the paltry check crumpling in my fist, as memories surged like a tidal wave. At 16, during my junior year, Dad had burst home with glossy Disney World brochures, spreading them across the dining table with infectious enthusiasm. Ella, my older sister and the family's golden child, had squealed and enveloped him in a hug. Mom immediately began plotting outfits and itineraries. When I timidly asked about joining, Dad barely glanced up: "The hotel's fully booked, kiddo. Only room for 3, you understand." I nodded, as I always did, masking the sting. They left me with Aunt Sarah, where I spent the week babysitting 6-year-old Delilah while Uncle Bo pulled double shifts at his construction job. Upon their return, tanned and bubbling with stories, they presented Ella with a full Minnie Mouse ensemble and a personalized photo album. For me? A single pressed penny from the Magic Kingdom, a token that felt as flat as my deflated spirits. Months later, borrowing Mom's iPad, I stumbled upon the reservation confirmation, a standard 4-person room. They simply hadn't wanted me there, a pattern that echoed through our family dynamics. College amplified the disparity. I juggled 2 jobs, library shifts by day, waitressing nights, to bridge what scholarships didn't cover. My parents insisted the trust was inaccessible until graduation, preaching the virtues of hard work. Meanwhile, Ella enjoyed a fully funded ride, complete with monthly allowances, a new car, and a top-of-the-line laptop. My graduation day arrived. I crossed the stage solo, their morning text citing, "Something came up, we'll celebrate later." That something was a lavish Paris trip with Ella to toast her engagement, champagne flutes clinking against the Eiffel Tower backdrop while I packed my dorm, subsisting on frozen pizza. The student loans haunted me for 6 years, confining me to a cramped studio, a car on life support, and too many ramen dinners. I'd cleared the last payment 8 months ago, savoring the freedom to breathe. All while my parents had been dipping into my trust, justifying it as management services. Deep down, I'd suspected irregularities, but Dad's icy rebuff at 22, when I pleaded for a small advance amid rent struggles, ungrateful children risk fund freezes for mental incompetence, push me, and you'll wait till 50, if ever, had silenced me. I'd apologized, internalized the shame, and endured. But no more. The trust's dissolution stripped their leverage. Another buzz, a Facebook notification from Cousin Marcy, an album titled Cabo Vibes with the Tate Crew. Photos depicted my parents and Ella lounging on pristine sands, umbrella drinks in hand, turquoise waves lapping. A 5-star resort, timed perfectly with my diminished payout. They'd funded paradise with my inheritance. Eyes burning, I closed the app, the silence of my apartment amplifying the hollowness. $14,650.28, that's what Grandma's legacy, her love, boiled down to in their eyes. I nearly canceled dinner at Aunt Sarah's, the raw ache threatening to overwhelm. But solitude with that mocking check felt unbearable. I drove the 40 minutes to her cozy neighborhood, where homes were humble but yards expansive. Uncle Bo's meticulously maintained old Ford truck sat in the driveway, its bed laden with tools from the day's sight. Before I could knock, the door swung open, Aunt Sarah pulled me into a hug scented with rosemary from her herb garden and the warmth of home-baked bread. At barely 5 feet 3 inches, she was a force, her embraces a sanctuary. I clung a beat too long. "You okay, honey?" she asked, pulling back to study my face with those perceptive eyes. "Long day at work," I fibbed, forcing a smile. She nodded, unconvinced but respectful of my space. That was her way, offering room to unfold at my pace. Inside, Uncle Bo manned the stove, flipping pork chops in a seasoned cast-iron skillet that had seen decades of service. His weathered face crinkled into a grin. "Hey, Sadie girl, just in time. Hope you're hungry." "Starving," I lied again, though my appetite had vanished. Dinner was unpretentious, juicy chops, creamy mashed potatoes, crisp green beans from their garden. As Uncle Bo dished out portions, he scrutinized the chops, selecting the largest, most perfectly charred piece for my plate. "That one's for you," he said matter-of-factly. The gesture pierced me, a simple act of prioritization in a life starved of it. My phone vibrated, the bank app notifying a cleared deposit. $42,000, commission from the Riverside commercial property sale, fruit of 3 months' relentless negotiations and late nights. Nearly triple the trust remnant. Gazing at Aunt Sarah and Uncle Bo across their worn but spotless tablecloth, amid mismatched chairs that spoke of thrifty endurance, clarity dawned. I'd chased validation from blood relations who doled it sparingly, equating family to lineage. But true family manifested in deeds, the reserved best cut, the anticipatory hug, unwavering presence sans strings. Others deserved my love, my gratitude. The fear that had bound me dissolved. That fragile equilibrium shattered 3 days later. Exiting a property showing, my phone rang, Mom's name flashing. Habit nearly compelled me to answer, but I swiped accept warily. "Sadie. Sweetheart." Her tone oozed artificial sweetness, the kind reserved for requests. "We've been thinking about you so much." "Sure," I muttered. "Oh, that's wonderful. Listen, we're planning Aspen for Christmas, a gorgeous villa. Come join us, me, Dad, Ella, little Jojo. Snow, skiing, fireside hot chocolate, real bonding. Bonding. Like Cabo, Disney, Paris, all exclusions. I don't know, work commitments. But you must. Ella specifically asked for you, it wouldn't be the same without her little sister." A blatant fabrication, likely, Ella sought a free babysitter for spa outings. The inevitable hook, we need everyone to chip in, $2,000 by Friday. And Ella's got influencer events evenings, you'd babysit Jojo a few hours? You're so good with kids. There it was, financial extraction plus labor. My value quantified. Something snapped, not explosively, but definitively, severing the lingering hope of change. No. Silence. What? No to Aspen, no to money, no to babysitting. Sadie Marie Tate. Saw the Cabo photos. Enjoyed spending Grandma's trust on luxuries while I scraped by? Sharp inhale. Legitimate administrative purposes. Management fees. While I worked 2 jobs, ate ramen. Ungrateful, I ended the call, adrenaline surging. Blocked her number, then Dad's, Ella's. It felt like leaping from a precipice, but instead of plummeting, I soared. Insomnia gripped me that night, thoughts whirling. They viewed me as a tool, discardable when non-compliant. No amount of yielding would earn equitable love. But with $42,000 and hoarded airline miles from real estate perks, I could honor those who truly parented me. Morning brought action, laptop research on flights, resorts. Miles covered 4 round trips to the Maldives, paradise of overwater villas, crystalline lagoons, powdery sands. Luxury packages hovered around $28,000 for a week in a 2-bedroom ocean residence, all-inclusive, with private decks and infinity pools. Impulsive? Yes. But envisioning Aunt Sarah's wonder, Uncle Beau's quiet awe, Delilah's glee, it felt right. I booked it, the most extravagant spend of my life, yet liberating. That evening, I arrived unannounced at Aunt Sarah's, laptop in tow. Uncle Beau opened the door, surprised. Thought you weren't coming till Thursday. Need to talk to everyone. Home. Yeah. Delilah's upstairs. Concern flickered, but he ushered me in. In the living room, Aunt Sarah on the couch, Uncle Beau in his recliner, Delilah cross-legged on the floor, phone in hand, they regarded me with curiosity laced with worry. Had a chat with Mom yesterday. Invited Aspen. I said no, hung up, blocked her. Delilah's eyes widened. Holy shit. Language, Aunt Sarah murmured, but pride glinted in her gaze. Realized I've chased a family that doesn't want me, ignoring the one that's always been here. I opened the laptop, displaying the confirmation. Closed a huge commission, $42,000. Plus saved miles. Did something impulsive, booked us 4 to the Maldives. Private overwater villa, 7 days, all-inclusive. Leave in 2 weeks. Stunned silence. Aunt Sarah's hand covered her mouth, Uncle Beau stared blankly, Delilah leaped up. Serious? The actual Maldives? Yes. Aunt Sarah teared up. Honey, we can't, that's too much. You can, and will. You've been my anchors, meals, support, unconditional love. This isn't charity, it's thank you, claiming you as my real family. Uncle Beau rose, enveloping me in a bear hug, voice rough. Didn't have to. Wanted to. Delilah, phone forgotten, this is insane. TikToks? All you want. Aunt Sarah touched my face. Grandma would be so proud, you turned theft into beauty. Real strength. Throat constricting, hope so. No so. Arrival in the Maldives transcended travel, a portal to ethereal beauty. Stepping onto our villa's deck, the Indian Ocean unfurled in impossible turquoise, fish visible through glass floor panels. The residents perched on stilts above a vibrant reef, sun warming without oppression, breeze carrying salt and plumeria. Delilah breathed, this isn't real. Suniva.com luxury overwater and island villas in the Maldives. Suniva Yani. Uncle Beau, usually stoic, wore quiet awe. Aunt Sarah cried, happy tears, she insisted, but I knew it lifted years of scrimping. We swam, snorkeled colorful reefs, dined on chef-prepared fresh seafood, watched fiery sunsets from the deck. Delilah filmed relentlessly, her TikTok surging. One afternoon, she crafted a poignant video, cousin Sadie got screwed by parents, sister, stole inheritance, treated like garbage. Said no, brought us here, real family. Panning the paradise, what value looks like. Blood doesn't make family, love, actions do. It exploded, 500,000 views overnight, 2 million by noon. My phone buzzed with validations from old contacts. Then, an email forward from Ella, her Baby Bloom sponsorship terminated due to public perception misalignment, a $15,000 monthly hit. Her message, unhinged threats. I deleted it, sipping a mocktail, watching the horizon. The video hit 5 million, news outlets picking up, woman treats real family after inheritance theft. Delilah managed the surge gracefully. Day 5, Delilah, pale, showed Ella's Instagram venomous video with edited voicemails portraying me as vindictive. Caption, doxed my info, inviting backlash. Phone flooded, threats, vitriol. Disgrace. Hope you choke. Doxing's consequences, harassment, potential physical harm, loomed, but here, isolated in bliss, it felt distant. Uncle Beau, what do you need? Block numbers, enjoy vacation. Handed him my phone. Delilah wanted rebuttal. No, truth prevails with those who matter. Dinner, grilled fish, coconut rice, mango salad. Aunt Sarah squeezed my hand, okay? Will be. Ella could fabricate, I had paradise, love. She faced sponsor losses, crumbling facade. Karma sufficed. The 32-hour return journey left us bone-weary. Uncle Beau drove, dropping Aunt Sarah and Delilah first. Delilah hugged, call anytime. Alone with him for the final stretch, silence comforted, classic rock humming softly. Tension mounted nearing home. Layover text from Dad, embarrassed us, coming to collect owed. Apartment unchanged, small, tidy, safe. What needs fixing? He repaired bookshelf, cabinet. Pasta dinner, simple, grounding. 8:47 p.m., pounding. Ring app, parents, Ella recording. Intercom, recorded, leave or police. Dad, oh for Ella's losses. Mom, talk, family. Ella ruined me. Dad kicked door. Uncle Beau opened, towering. Dad blanched. Not your concern. Harassing my daughter is. They retreated under his calm threat, 5 seconds or break leg. Ella, video, sue. You doxed, threatened, compare? They fled, diminished. I cried, he hugged, got you. Unknown text, destroy job. Restraining order time. Police arrived, reviewed footage, file RO, escalation worsens without. Uncle Beau couch guarded. 2 a.m. awake, scared tonight. Scared isn't weak, you stood. Open house loomed, stomach knotted. $3 million luxury property, modern, floor-to-ceiling windows, smart tech. 3 months securing it, breakout potential. Richard, don't screw up, 5 flyers and buyers. Prepared meticulously, staging, catering, security. Trouble? Family photos. Got it. Guests arrived, by 2:30, buzzing positively. Then Marcus, 2 women slipped in, false names. Them. Downstairs, Mom, Ella Center, live streaming. Thief stole family money. Mom faked collapse. Clarity, police, trespass. Addressed guests, apologize, estranged, harassing post-refusal. Documented, pending RO. Gentlemen, professional handling. Security escorted, shrieks, applause followed. Richard, office Monday, for RO witness. Police, statements, citations. Harold, buying full price. 3 offers total. Uncle Beau call, scene, trespassed, sold house. Yora Miller. Courthouse, folder brimming, footage, reports. Hearing, judge granted RO, violations arrest worthy. Week later, packing for secure condo. Closet box, unused watch, coach bag, old appeasements. Donated to shelter, for starting over. Christmas, Aunt Sarah's, ham, pine, laughter. Garage, Uncle Beau's envelope, adult adoption petition. Our daughter officially. Tears, yes. Process simple, consents, court filing, no probes. Signed, celebrations ensued. Sadie Marie Miller. Driving home, mirror showed transformation. From $14,650.28 hollowed, to fortified career, home, chosen kin. Revenge, thriving amid their ruins. Love triumphed.